Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in my Python series today we are discussing about none type. So what is a none type? How we are using it? How we are declaring it? How it's important when you are working with any data structure in Python. So without any further discussion, let's get started. Okay, so let me open my VS Code. Okay, so basically, none type is what? It's not a basically none type is a value for particular variable. It's not a number. It's not a text. It's just a. It's just you can say like it's just a nothing. We can not a consider like it's an empty string. It's a false. It's a zero. So the simply meanings of this none type is no value here. Okay, so you can read it here. So sometimes you can need a variable that exists but doesn't have hold a anything yet. No number, no text, just nothing. Python has a specific value for the exactly that none. It's not a zero, it's not an empty string, it's not a false. It's a Python's way of saying no value here. Today I'll show what none really is, how to use it placeholder, and why it's the perfect default for a function's arguments. Let's go. So when you working with the methods, when you creating any methods, that time you will idea how we are this none type is very important, because that time you will had a clear you need this, because if none type was not present it will create a issue. Okay, I'll show you in further example. Okay, so let's get started. If you can see here, select the kernel, let me run this code so you will get an idea. Okay, so if you see here, this is the none variable. The value of the variable is none, and the class of the variable is none type. Okay, so you can clearly see. Okay, now I have here created the comparison between none and zero, none and empty string, none and false, and none and none. So if you can see, let me run this as well. So if you can see here, here, and here, you will get a false, but here you will get a true. So none is equal to none. So we can consider none is not a number, none is not a zero, none is not a empty string, and none is not a false. So none is just a type. We can consider it. Okay. So how you can check none type in a Python, whether the particular variable has a none value, none type, none value uh, has has it or not. So how you can consider it? So if I run this code, you will get an idea. So that x is not a value yet. So because if you can see x is equal to none, so we have checked if x is none, means f has x equal to none, then it has to print x has no value yet. So that is why we are receiving x has no value yet. But here if you can see y equal to 10, so we have checked that if y is not none, then print y has a value y. Okay, so here we have assigned y equal to 10, and we have checked y is not a none, so eventually y is not a none. Actually y has a value, so that is why there has a print has print that let's go inside this if block, and it's print the y value. Okay, so hope you get clarity on it. So okay, so now how how we are using none value to with the data structures like list, tuple, dictionary, then set. Okay, so I'll show you one example here. Okay, so we have declared one variable with the none. So the number of the list is 4, 8, 5, 15, 16, and 23. If you can see here, I have checked if list is not a none, then we are just check, using max function, we are just checking which was the max number is in this list, and we are passing through this result. Okay, and we are just checking if result is none, then no result was be computed, and else we are just creating the printing the max number. Okay, so basically here our output is goes to print state here in else, because we are getting a real max number from this. Okay, so max number is 23, if you can see. Okay, so if you can see here, like if do empty string, so no result was computed because here we are not receiving any number. That is why max is basically function, it will return a number. If you hover onto this method, you will get idea with the selected iterable argument, return a biggest item. Okay, so it will return a biggest item which was presented into your list. Okay, it's a iterable number, iterable object. Okay, so hope you got clear idea. Okay, so now main thing is coming here. So please make attention little bit here, because it's when you're working with the any application and any code, this has more if you has this clarity, you will get a better idea and you will get more benefits out of it. Okay, so like example, I have created this method which is has grid. We are just inputting two parameter, which is name and greetings. Okay, and we are just checking if greeting is none. Okay, then we are just printing. So by default greeting is none. If it's not, if by default value of greeting is none, if this parameter value we are not passing, so we are receiving none value by default. Okay, if it's none, then greeting value we are setting as a hello, and just we are combining greeting plus name comma, which is coming from parameter. Okay, so first we are calling only with the Manav. So Manav goes to this name. So if you can see hello Manav, it's printed, because greeting we are getting a none. Okay, greeting value we are getting a none, because we have set none value and we are not passing here a greeting value. So that is why the here greeting value hello will be set, and that is why you will receive the hello Manav. In the second, we are passing the greeting value as a good morning. So that is why you are receiving good morning Manav. Okay, hope you get an idea, little bit idea. I'm not telling that you will get a expertise on this. Once you know the concept, you will implement it, then you get a better idea. Okay, so basically now why none is important. Okay, so first I will tell you what is the problem and how the none will be solve this problem. Okay, so let me create one cell in above list, above cell. Okay, wait. Okay, so here I was just what I'm doing, just I was removing this. Okay, sorry, it's just a mistake. Okay, and we are just here, we are just declaring a list. Okay, okay, so this is my method which is doing add item into particular list. Okay, so what is okay, so we'll do an exercise. I will run this both of the code, just see the output and tell me why it's happening. You can see here we are receiving apple banana, both of the items are there in second list, and here we are receiving apple single time and banana single time. Just tell me why it's happening. Just pause this video and tell me. 2 3 2 2 3 seconds. Just pause it and just tell me why it's happening in comment sections. Okay, so here what happening actually, by default we have created the list as a none. Okay, so whatever item is coming, let's first call item is coming apple. Okay, so it has appended the item apple into list. Okay, second time we have a call with the banana. Okay, and then banana we have added into list. So it got appended, so apple is also there, but banana was also added, so you will get apple and banana. If you call the third time with some another item, you will get an idea, you will get that third item as well. Like example, if I call with this if I am copy this print and I call with like XYZ, so you will get XYZ as appended item. Okay, hope you got a clarity. So because we have we have created the list empty, and that list every time got appended in this function. That's it. But nothing will be happening here. Okay, and instead of this method, what is happening? So we have created this variable as a none type. Okay, and we are checking whether this variable is none, then this we are declaring the list as a none. Okay, so whenever we are just calling this method with, likewise we have a call with the apple, so it's go to the apple in item, and this is a none, and this list was empty created, and the value will be appended, and we are just returning the list. That is so that we are getting apple. Second time what's happening, we are just calling with the banana, this was empty, this was none, this was none, this condition was true, this empty list was created. Okay, and we are appended the item into this. Okay, and returning the basket. So what happening, every call, if we are not mentioning anything on basket, the empty list will be created every call, because we have checked the variable none. That is why. So this is the difference between this both of the code, and that is why this none was important when you're working with any of the data structure, like mutable data structure like list. Because sometimes you have a business project, like you have to work with any values that you don't have to append every time, you just have to create that list. Every calls you have to create that list newly. That time this will be very helpful. Okay, so hope you get clear idea on this. Let me know in a comment section if you have any questions, if you have any feedback. Okay, now moving ahead. So here it's nothing, just we are just printing the return value basically. So every method has a return value. So by default, it's none if we are not explicitly mentioned the return value. So here we have just created the empty list, which is just a printing empty method, which is just a printing high. Okay. So if you do, we have assigned this value to return, and we are just printing that return value. So it's by default, it's none. And if we have to return specific value, then return keywords also there. Using that, we can return a specific value. So, okay. So this is just for understanding purpose, but we have a series, upcoming series in this playlist only, which is functions. In that series, we are discussing about lots of things on functions. So don't worry. Okay. So quick recap: what we have done, what we have discussed in this tutorial about none. What is a none value? How none value is valuable when you're working with method, especially on method when you operating with any of the data structure like list, tuple, set, and dictionary. Okay, then we have discussed none is not a zero, none is not a false, none is not an empty string. Okay, So hope you like this video. Hope you have a clear understanding on none value on Python. And if you have any feedback, if you have any suggestion, if you have any questions, please feel free to put in on comment. Okay, I will try to reply those. And thank you. See you on the next one.